Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tenors to Human, and welcome back to our King Arthur campaign. You join us on what is, well, probably the penultimate episode, 2 of 3 remaining in this series, I think. Hengist Pendragon is going to besiege and smash up the final of the Brutii and the last of all the Roman cities. So it's a marvellous day indeed. The gates may well be open, indeed they are. We've actually got 2 chaps inside here. Now, considering what they've got, I might just get a couple more towers just to be sure, but I'm pretty certain we can win at this point. He is actually plagued. The city is not, but he is still plagued. So, with any luck, he might just die off in the intervening turns, but then actually that would make it flip to rebel. And to be honest, I kind of want to finish him off myself. I think we learned from the last couple episodes that the dogs really aren't going to do it with the level of armour they have at this point, which is pretty darn sad, all things considered. But I'm sure we can take them out. They are mostly mercenaries here. Well, a fair chunk of mercenaries, some basic lads. Nothing too good there. It's not going to be a grand ass stand, but we'll have an interesting fight with any luck. Anyway, so this chap, I don't know what you're doing, so you found yourself next to all of our marvellous chariots from both the city and from the reinforcing army. Marvellous stuff. Actually, they're supposed to be heading over here to go lay down a watchtower, so that's what they're going to do. So, of course, this is our grand chariot army that earlier smashed up the world. Now, as for how everything else is going, I know there's a Brutii and Egyptian ship up here that I've battered up, so they're just going to sit and block the little pass here. No worries from any of those. I think, apart from maybe one Egyptian ship up here, I think I've got rid of all of the Egyptians in the sea now. Certainly the couple that I've had to deal with the last few turns seem to be gone. So it's time for my lovely fleet to get landing. So where are they? They're these two over here. So over here, still no fleets turning up anytime soon. Good news indeed. Bit of a shame I don't have any generals for this army, but we'll have to make do with what we have, eh? So, send over the infantry to start us off with. Let's get this army developed. They actually can't quite move as far as I'd like, so that's a bit of a shame. Thracians are some nice light guys to get around the back. I'm quite happy to have those in the army. Otherwise, I don't think I have too much else. No druids hanging around. So these guys as our missiles. Good stuff. And then we have ourselves a cataphract who can be the general unit. Followed up by, what do we have here? Oh, no light chariots, only heavies. Apparently this is just the force that I happen to have. So they're going to go have some fun next time. In the meantime, the boats... is it just that one Cretan archer? Yeah, just the one Cretan archer. You know what, you might as well join us then. I'm just going to keep you as reserves, but no need in that particular case. So we'll send those boats over there. We'll send a couple of you to blockade there. And otherwise, I guess we might as well just start blockading them up everywhere because they're in trouble at this point. Yeah, we just need to make sure we've got enough strength on each of these fleets to batch up any ship they might well build. This is good news indeed. Right, so I would say one of you get over here and join Captain Lancelot, Admiral Lancelot. And if you get yourself down here and join up with, I don't know, this guy, I guess. Just need a bit of extra power, just enough to be able to hold it. 3 boats, be absolutely fine. Grand stuff. Right, the sea is ours now, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we're looking pretty darn good in this part of the world. Some good vision on Numidia. They're pretty chill, really, so I'm not worried about them. Now, over in Thebes, we need to go and make sure we've got enough in case they do give us a poke. But I've largely speaking got the army together here with our new guy Horse of the Iceni. So he's going to go plod himself over in this direction. Looks like they are shaping up for a big bout actually. So I'm just going to give this guy a poke. Get him out of the way with a nice quick victory. That was a bit of a waste actually of these guys, but oh well, no worries with any of that nonsense. So you guys go and square up to him. You square up to that chap. That's good. So we've got a couple armies. They've got troops coming in, but that's good. We can hold them off in the meantime. As for what else is over here, probably just need to consider what we need. So yeah, a few bits of just holding troops. The warbands are pretty good for that because sheer numbers does the job in terms of holding onto public order. So we'll just turn it down to low just to make sure I don't have to change that anytime later. Cyrene looks absolutely safe. In fact, we will just rename that to the city of Serene, because weirdly, after taking it, no one's even bothered to go and smash it up, which is unusual. Normally, when I go and nab this one of these two border territories comes up and smashes it, but alas, we are absolutely fine. So the world's looking pretty good at this point. The only other thing I'm really doing is making sure I've got preparations in case the Spanish ever stab us in the back. Now this is actually a beautiful border, not so much because of the mountains, because of the rivers as well. So we've got ourselves a fort here which blocks this passage between the mountains and the river. We can obviously go and stand the river here. And there's still a pass in this area as well. So we'll need to bear all of that in mind, but quite frankly, I am happy as we are. I'm not going to bother plugging up this hole because actually that would be slightly on their territory and a little bit rude. So I'm not going to bother with that for the time being. But I'll have a force here ready to pounce if need be. So yeah, we've basically got everyone kind of coming over to a couple rally points at this stage just to make sure that border is safe if ever we need to do anything about it. So largely speaking, we are set up. I might as well go and assassinate that guy because he's basically a freebie and a bit of training for this chap. Lovely. He has got himself cutthroat. Just a basic early upgrade there, but that's fine. We'll get you to come and join this army just to make sure we've got what we need. We have a spy just for our lovely general up there in case Thrace or Dacia attack us. But to be honest, the old diplomacy has been working pretty well on this game, which is very bizarre indeed. Yeah, I'm a bit confused as to why that's doing such a good job. But apparently we seem to be friends with Spain and with Carthage, and media haven't stabbed us in the back. Dacia have had a long border with us forever. Aha! Oh yes, that brings us to Germany. Of course, there are Germans over here, and they are in the city. Now, do they have walls? They might have built them. No, they actually haven't. Oh no, they have. I'm just completely blind. Yeah, I was just looking at the lack of the UI. There. Oh well, it's all absolutely fine. So we're going to get that under siege. We'll get ourselves some ladders and towers. Any mercenaries, nothing any good anyway, so I won't worry about that. I don't actually have any infantry. Guess we'll be needing you two then, won't we? Alright, well this is going to be a fun final stand. We've got Manarex of Argentorate, who is actually not too shabby in fairness. And we got Clovis of Nere, who's absolutely terrible. So they will go down fairly easy. It looks like quite well developed settlement actually. They've been here a while, they've done quite a lot. It's got the original Temple of Athena that the rebels must have built all the years ago. They've actually got the mines built. This is a fantastically rich settlement, by the way. It's very much worth getting. Don't leave this to the end. If you're up in this part of the world, go and grab it. It takes a few turns to get there. Amazon chariot women are a pain if you don't know how to deal with them. But yeah, they're pretty nice, all things considered. So I'm just going to go and get ourselves a nice tower or two on the Parthian-Dacian border. Otherwise, we're all looking pretty good. It's probably going to be an end turn and wait and see what happens with the rest of these chaps over here. Although, I might actually want to come and attack this guy now. You probably won't want to battle, although you might because of the general behind you. Yes, you do. Okay, we're going to head into that very, very soon then. Horse of the Iceni over there. It's ready to get into battle. Otherwise, things are pretty much as you'd expect here, looking very steady and solid indeed. The seas are absolutely as they're locked down. We should be able to prevent any random invasions by the sea. We'll just get you to go and fill that dark gap of ocean. Lovely stuff. Right, we're looking very, very good indeed. So, last couple of episodes then, what we're looking to do really is to go and, well, bloody the nose of Egypt. I'm not going to suggest we're going to completely take over everything. I think we just have to feel satisfied that they are defeated. And right now, they've still got a fair few chunks of army. I don't think we're going to get any pokes from the like of Dacia. We've actually have a pretty decent vision on them, all things considered. Wouldn't mind getting, yeah, a little bit more actually in terms of that. So we'll just get ourselves the odd spy around here just to keep poking in that direction. But all things considered, we're in a good position over here. And even if they do attack us, I've got border forces ready across my towns. So there's not a lot they'll be able to do if they do want to come into any of my lovely towns over here. We're looking incredibly strong. Right, over to the Egyptians then. We might as well smash up this army whilst they're reinforcing army. Should be a little bit easier. Wow, that's elite stuff. Okay, a little bit easier. but not anything if not horrendous. So that is exactly the kind of army we don't want to be facing. But if we can take out the general, hopefully morale will drop significantly. Yeah, silver sword, silver shield on that guy there, albeit not all of them. Pharaoh's Guards, Pharaoh's Bowmen, exactly what the British find most difficult to deal with. This, oof, gold, it's the gold stuff here. Okay, we are going to take heavy losses, ladies and gents. But what I think we can do is just sheer numbers eliminate these armies here. Yeah, my reinforcements are pretty solid. Oh, we can't actually see the army, but it's a pretty similar kind of makeup to what we've got here. We'll let them throw themselves against a brick wall, see what happens with them. But I reckon sheer numbers should be enough to cause the morale break. But yeah, we're going to have to be a little bit careful here. One thing they are lacking, though, is any cavalry. They had them general over here, and they have, what, one chariot troop, is it? Yeah, one chariot archers over here. So if we can get on top of them, we should be fine. But they have more men on their chariots than us, so we've got to be careful about that. They're not necessarily even in terms of their power. So let's head into here. It's going to be quite a crucial one moving forward, I think. Let's go. Fairly even battlefield for us here today. I've got them on AI controlled. Had to actually reload because it didn't do that straight away. Always does the opposite to what I want, doesn't it? So what have we got here? We've got ourselves Pharaoh's Bowmen, who are currently at the back. That's not ideal. I'd rather they move forward. So I've got myself on loose formation here, partly because the Pharaoh's Guard absolutely tear us to shreds. So naturally, the wider we are, the slower we get slaughtered. Also means we hopefully can get around them a little bit easier. So if they're not going to move forward anytime soon, I think we'll just go and get our lovely missile cav out to a flank, please. You can go and get started. We'll send all of these chaps over to the other flank and see if we can tease them into some sort of a bout. As for the rest of you, we'll just keep you together for the moment, actually. See what their move is. We've both got reinforcements. I obviously don't want to take them out too quickly. If I take out the reinforcements too fast, or the main army too fast, reinforcements might well flee. So got to be a little bit careful about all of that nonsense. Right, shoot the chariot archers, because they should be easy to pick off. And the Pharaoh's Bowmen, I don't really know what they're doing at the moment, but I imagine we just need to get ourselves in. This is quite good, actually. They've now managed to bring the spearmen away, which is the only thing that I'm really worried about, actually. So we'll just get these guys shot down. Chariots will come in. Get you to chop up these two units. That'll be fine. You get into the Pharaoh's Bowmen. They're broken. That's perfect. Guard don't know where to go. They've been pulled to their doom. This is absolutely ideal. Yeah, all my missiles just keep shooting the Pharaoh's Spearmen. And with any luck, yeah, we won't have to worry about any of the nonsense going on back there. Those chariots are going to be a problem if they're going to run away. So what I want to do probably is send my own chariots after them. The light chariots, though, of course, because that is what we need. Right, let's get all our guys around for the time being. See if we can just irritate them, pull them around. That guy ran straight. Don't do anything stupid, guys. Just because one of you rammed into them doesn't mean all of you need to. So we're going to do some stupid things right now. I'll tell you what, let's move the rest of the line forward. That will be grand. Thank you very much. Now these guys are shaken. No, they're all going to pile in. Right, let's just try and pile in at a bit of... No, not that angle. Not that... Right. They are utter fools. Like, they were over here and they decided, let's swing round to the front. No, you don't understand how Right, go back to chariot school and remember how this all works. Doesn't work when you charge them in the front. Just get these guys and try and hit them in the rear. Pharaoh's Guard, such a problem. Okay, we need to get ourselves away from all of their fire, so let's just lead them over here. The rest of the units are moving forward. It's good. The Pharaoh's Guard are very slowly being picked off by those chaps. Charge into the rear should clear them out. What do these guys? These guys got themselves into some conflict they weren't supposed to, and now we're absolutely fine. Right, you go off shooting for the moment and just move over there. Pharaoh's Guard, for some reason, are only wavering, which is a little bit insane, but if they're not actually in phalanx, then we shouldn't have too much to worry about. Right, all of you guys get on there. Now onto the main force. And chariot archers, of course, that's left over from before. Their general's right in the middle of it all. Okay, I just want to make sure my reinforcements get into this battle because I could have a lot of problems otherwise. Right, chariot archers, light guys, charge into them, see what we can do. As for the rest of you, let's just pull up in front of where our army is going to be, and we'll see what our next move is. First army has been cleared off then. The light chariots have just about managed to deal with this guy, which is really all they're going to be able to do, I imagine, in this bout. They're actually charging their infantry forward, which is interesting. Which means I need to be quite careful about these heavy chariots here. So, best thing for them is them all to fight together. So what have I got left in terms of heavy chariots? All of you over here. I tell you what, all of you get over to that flank. Pronto. That'd be most marvellous. Thank you very much. Now, sheer numbers is our best chance here, so I need to do... Let's get on top of those desert axemen. We can chop them up with light chariots, but we need to be a bit careful. No, they're both gone. Bit of a shame that's why I was sending the other guys over here, but sometimes it happens, eh? Sometimes that happens. Let's go and get these camels forward. They can start shooting ASAP. Preferably on some Pharaoh's Guard if you can find any to shoot. Now, these guys are in an interesting position, aren't they? Very interesting. They're a bit all over the place, which is kind of what I want, actually. Ferris Bowman are actually almost on this side, probably because they've sent their spearmen over to deal with my chaps over there. Well, if that's the way they want to do this, I reckon we might as well just go and get ourselves running forward, actually. I probably should make use of my war cry, but let's just get them in that general area. So charge these 3 units over here, and we'll see how that all falls into place in the coming moments. Yeah, okay, this could work. This could work. Oh, there's the general. Didn't realise that was happening. Probably should notice that. Let's go on top of him. We can tear him apart straight away, which is perfect, actually. So these guys are going to start running forward. That means we can start thinking about what else to do. But they're just about where we want them. That is their general gone. Perfect, perfect stuff. Dogs have been released. Start war crying where you are, and we'll hopefully just get a nice charge in. You guys run back. That's what I need from you. You've got a war cry. Charge in. Get on top of the bowmen and the desert axemen, the Pharaoh's bowmen, etc., etc. As the rest of them, we'll just let them slowly come in a staggered formation. That will be perfect for me. Get on top of those chariots. Actually, ignore those axemen. Ignore those axemen completely. Let's just get around the back. Let's just get around the back. This is a rare opportunity for us to get in the position that we are looking for. Right, all of you guys, war cry now. War cry, war cry, war cry. And these druids, start your chants. We should be absolutely fine here. Right, you get around them. You get on top of them. You charge them, but it doesn't really matter what you do in terms of the charge. You're going to get yourself killed. But hopefully the Y formation will get them broken. Okay, this is good. We've got them broken back here. Pharaoh's bowmen, Pharaoh's bowmen, Pharaoh's bowmen. If we're close enough, we can cause them problems. I tell you what, you guys come back and deal with these chaps. We should be okay, actually. So those guys are broken because we got all around them. That is just what I want. Cataphracts are now probably safe to move forward here. The reinforcement army isn't actually proving to be that necessary at the moment, is it? It's not. But you guys can cause them some problems. Yeah, they're on top of them. Light chariots, hit them. Archers, get on top of these guys. This is good news indeed. Right, what I want to do. Who are you? Bowman. Get one chariot chap to go and kill them. Pharaoh's bowmen are in a stupid, foolish position. Alright, they're on top of them, actually. Probably need you to go and deal with the infantry, actually. So you get yourself moving forward. Cataphracts are going to cut. Actually, cataphracts, you can hit those Pharaoh's Guard in the rear. And whilst you don't like to charge these guys, Pharaoh's Guard don't like being charged in the rear by well, yeah, cataphracts. Cataphracts are pretty darn delicious when it comes to this sort of thing. So ignore that. Oh, they're going to break up the charge. Okay, problems, slight problems, but we should have a good charge in on the back of those guys now. Get on top of them. They're trying to flee. We can't allow that. The charge from the cataphracts. Oh, yes, the lovely Knights of the Round Table. Oh, they dance around the battlefield whenever they're able, and they have cleared them out there beautifully. That's good to see. Right, you guys both get on top of those Pharaoh's Guard. Do not allow them to escape. That charge has already done the job. In fact, they were broken before it. Reinforcements are frankly non-existent and just mopping up, frankly. Nothing more than that at this stage. Right, the odd men getting away. But to be frank, we have torn them apart here. The only thing that's won really is that one guy back there. I don't think he's going to last much longer. I think this charge should do him. Yep, there we go. They are frightened goats, frightened rabbits, all of the above farmyardy kind of animals. Lovely stuff. That went surprisingly well, actually. I think we finally... Yeah, I think we've learned a little bit better how to deal with these guys. Loose formation. Loose formation, definitely a good idea against the phalanxes. Get around them, cause them problems, and minimise your own casualties. That certainly helped. I think just splitting them up caused a big, big bonus for us. But yeah, definitely loose formation. But like when you use the Flouxman again, actually, because yeah, when you use the Flouxman as someone like Dacia or Thrace, what you really want to do with them is, well, they tear apart Roman legionary, heavy infantry, but if you're against spears, you just spread the line thin. And this is kind of working in a similar way here. Okay, I'm going to mop this up and we'll see how the victory went on the old statistics screen. Sweet music to our warriors' ears. They're 19% loss, which isn't too bad, I would suggest. We have lost about 350-ish, a bit more than that, but pretty good. So seeing 1,390 kills. Captain Caradog honestly didn't even turn up to the battle, but I think the extra numbers certainly helped me feel more confident to go ahead with that battle, so pretty pleased with that. That was as good a victory we've had against the Egyptians as well, yeah, well, as we've had full stop. So I tell you what we'll do, we'll get you mixed together, but we'll use this army from this point as a bit of a restocking force. So you're a bit weak, but we can probably do a bit of blend in here. So you mix into there, that's 10 left over. Get back into the main force, one more full unit of infantry, that is grand. Yeah, actually, we're looking all right. We can just use this force here to restock it as we go. So, mostly fine with the chariots, actually. Mostly fine. So we'll get ourselves a couple of these, mix them in, and we should be pretty good to go straight away, actually, which is just what we need to see. So 18 there, 36 there. You two can move back into the main force. What are we looking for here? We're pretty solid, all things considered. Infantry is plentiful. I think we need one more heavy chariot. I think we need at least 4 of them when we're in these forces because they are quite vital when it comes to these armies. Light chariots aren't so important, but it's nice to get a bit of skirmishing in at the start. Honestly, some extra dogs are good. Dogs are pretty good for dealing with just all sorts of morale penalties, which is what we're looking for in these battles. So we use these guys as restockers and a reinforcement army. Keep them at the back in behind. Keep the two forces together and we'll be absolutely grand. We've just beaten back one of the small reinforcement forces over here, and to be honest, I'm quite happy to leave these guys wandering around. I don't really want to take on both of these together. It's a little bit silly, I think. Let's keep the odds in our favour. But if they want to come over towards Egypt, that works for me. We'll just chase them down that direction. We can hold off for a couple turns over here if they want to come and attack us. But by and large, I'm pretty happy with where things stand at the moment. I'm just going to get a couple more bits of like chariots over here. Yeah, these guys are just going to keep them all dancing, to be frank. What we need from them is potentially a couple spies. So we'll just get a load of spies out of there. But obviously the main force is what's landing over here. I say the main force, another force. We're going to have tons of these forces. In fact, I've probably forgotten about a few of them in between recording. So I should probably remind myself if I had any more armies floating around the sea. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know. But yeah, things looking pretty good. I can possibly send the army from Tomzantium over here. We don't actually have ourselves any training facilities for these chaps, so that's a bit of a problem, but not the end of the world. Right, Thessalonica, I think it is time for you to go down. In fact, the gates aren't open this time. Maybe we'll leave it a turn. Maybe it's best to just hold off one more time. One of my spies in the city died. That's unfortunate, isn't it? You know what? Yeah, we'll wait one more turn. We'll make sure the gates are open as well. The gates should open up for us before too long. Get ourselves a watchtower over here. This is our own chat. Lovely stuff. 3 particularly our allies, lest you have forgotten. So don't need to worry about them particularly. But yeah, just keep a wary eye. They're a nice buffer state as far as I'm concerned in this kind of area. Should keep Dacia distracted. Works very much in my favour. Hopefully it won't cause them to get annoyed, but I don't think it will. It hasn't seemed to have so far. I think they're a bit scared of me. Which I think the main difference I noticed between this and Medieval 2 is that you can have so much money that you can just make them so scared that they don't want to wage the war, albeit that's complete nonsense, because quite often they do. And part of the reason I've got all of these lovely chariots around in all my cities is because they are a very good rebel mopping up force. So we'll be seeing quite a lot of that kind of nonsense. So although it wasn't necessarily the best idea, because now I don't have a very happy town. So we'll send these... Oh, they can't make it because you're in the way! Damn and blast. Oh well. Yeah, it's always worth looking at your faction, who's good for a good auto-resolve, just to get rid of rebels. Particularly as Armenia, I always used to use 2 cataphract archers, 1 cataphract. I'd kind of like keep those around various places in the Empire, just as a mopping up force. Much the same really with the odd general like this. Oh, for Pete's mahogany table, that's ridiculous. Fine, we'll take them out another way. If you're slightly less incompetent than me, you can clear them out nice and easy. Right. Okay, we're going to wait another turn for Thessalonica, of course, because I've just gone and mucked up all of this nonsense. But yeah, we're going to wait another turn for that. That shouldn't really be a problem. And elsewhere, we obviously have this army up here. I don't know exactly what is here, which is the slight problem. I don't have enough spies over hither. I'm normally very good for spies. It's a bit irritating actually that I don't have the vision I want. But what I wouldn't mind doing is going straight over to Antioch, to be honest. I'm just going to walk up to it, put it under siege, see if I can get a reaction out of them, because apparently there's nothing in there. We can walk into that with no problem. So if they want to take us on, it should be minimal in terms of reinforcement forces. So we'll leave those guys to go and get on with it. What I probably want to be doing then is making sure I do have a new army getting ready. So, good old Conan, you're supposed to, yeah, just be looking after yourself. So you won't worry about that. Conan and Conan II are very sad because Conan doesn't live with them anymore. They're all a bit miserable over here. They all miss him very much over in at the moment. I'm used to saying Constantinople, of course. I'm getting a little bit confused now with this city. But I do like the name. Constantium is good as well. I put Antioch under siege over here. We are actually lacking spies, so I don't have the best vision of what's around. But frankly, it seems lots of little bits and pieces. So I'm quite happy to put them under siege. Only Ferris Bowman in here, so it won't be too much of an issue if we have to deal with a little Sally force as reinforcements. So they can take us on if they like. Works very much for me. Now, Greece were, last I saw at Word Pontus, are they over here? Oh, they are over here, right? Floating around the border. It's actually under siege. Okay. So they are probably going to go and take all of Asia Minor. Well done, Greece. I'm very happy to see Greece survive later on into the game like that. It's marvellous, good news. Yes, Hengist, of course, can't quite head in this turn because one of my spies died and now the gates aren't open, which is just a little bit annoying, but it's frankly not the end of the world. Oh, no, he just got spat out. Oh, spat out during a siege. That's interesting. But I guess we're happy to let him out because he's one of our own. It's a good thing they're mates and they recognise each other, eh? That's just marvellous. Yes, over here we're just leaving these guys ready. What I probably want to do, though, is get one more force ready to head in that direction. So probably just send the Tomzantium force, actually. I see no reason not to just grab these guys and send them on their merry way. So we're going to grab you out of Tomzantium. That's low tax rate, so probably need to leave some of them behind. It's a bit of a pain because they're quite good troops, aren't they? They are indeed. I'll tell you what, we'll get rid of Temple to Athena. We will try and focus on something else for the time being. What do we want to get over here? I tell you what, just Brigantia will be absolutely fine. Next 2 turns we'll be getting some nice happiness in, which is grand. We'll get ourselves some warband. That should pump up happiness in the short term. It's done absolutely nothing. Brilliant on this, absolutely brilliant. You know, it's fine. They can have a turn of sadness. It won't be an issue. Do have myself a few more ships over here, especially if there are some rebel ships floating around. Need to be very careful about them. So we'll send all these guys together. That's absolutely grand. We'll just keep him guarded. All is good. And over in Athens, we might as well get ourselves a couple more ships just to make sure we are guarding the seas. So that's marvellous stuff. Okay, right, we're going to gather a new force where necessary, which just means you probably just need a couple more of these infantry lads to make everything fine and dandy. So, counterfacts getting trained here. Head hurlers, you know what? We'll just grab some of you. I'm not worried about the cataphracts for now. A couple infantry would be perfect. So, I'm going to get this force. Ah! I knew I had an army. Here's Kai the Morbid. There we go. Thank you, comment section. Before I even read your message, I found the army I'm looking for. I knew there was someone on his way over here. Of course, Kai the Morbid is coming over from the city of Morbid Dog after the nonsense of last time. So, yeah, we'll just leave the spy in there. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, they're all a bit random, these cities, aren't they? It's all good, though. Yeah, Morbid Dog is fairly relaxed, actually, isn't it? It's not in bad shape. We might as well get things retrained. Probably have ourselves a decent army to send if things settle down. Probably best, though, to keep ourselves defended in case of attack from the Carthaginians. So, whilst I don't expect it, might as well be prepared for it because we have all the money in the world. As you might expect, we did get attacked in these little ships here outside of Pergamum, but it's absolutely fine. Pontus is still neutral with us, which is good news indeed. We'll send these boats in this kind of a direction. We do need to go and grab the infantry to help us out. In fact, to be honest, let's just send the cataphracts. I'm quite happy with that, so we'll send you over in that direction. You can join up with them. How is this fleet unhappy? That is slightly irritating, but it's not the end of the world. Whatever, we'll sort that out next time. No problems at all. Yeah, over in Tomzantium, they're a bit miserable, of course, but they are a little bit more chilled out now than they were. So that's all fine. Now, as for this, the gates aren't open. Come on, give us an open gate. That's what we're after. Antioch has a reinforcement stack behind. But to be honest, we can just walk in. So we're going to walk in. We lost 30 men. Probably lost the Cretians and didn't actually have a look. Exterminate the population. No, we didn't lose all the Cretians. Maybe lost one of those. I don't know. Anyway, we've managed to capture Antioch, which is at least going to cause us to have a place for them to bash their head against the wall. It's a nice place to reinforce and retrain our armies. We've got ourselves a couple people come of age. We've got Yuane over here, who is not particularly interesting. You come down to Lecce, which is obviously groups of a scriptorium. It's a good place for you to hang out. And there was someone else. Did I just get rid of the message? I think I did. That's just brilliant, Thomas. So someone else came of age, but I have no idea who they are or where they are. So I won't worry about any of that old nonsense. What I will do, though, is just send these chaps over towards Navi Martius. So we're just gathering our forces over by the bridge over here, which is just grand. Lovely stuff. All right, we do actually have Germany to take care of, so we're going to head into Themyscira, make sure those guys are finally dealt with. What do they have? 2 chaps, faction leader, factionaire, of course, and some basic trash. Let's go in. Let's just throw in the chariots to our own doom. Straight in with the siege towers, of course. We'll see how all of that nonsense goes. They do have some in the wall, so there's always the chance I could die and lose, I guess. Seems unlikely to me, so we're going to send them forward. Hopefully one of the 2 towers will make it. We'll be very unlucky they both burn down. That'll actually make us completely lose the battle. I always found that a bit strange that it doesn't just put you back to, end this particular conflict and then, you go back to siege and then you just build more towers. Why would you give up the siege because of, one tower burning down? But hey ho, that's just the way it all goes, isn't it? These guys can get themselves up here ASAP to the tower, we ground these guys and get on with the conflict on the wall. As long as they don't have the tower and the gateway, I'm absolutely fine. Why they're not standing over here, I have no idea. So we're going to go and deal with these chaps. Are we broken instantly? Of course we broke instantly. Perfect, isn't it? That's perfect. You guys get yourself over here. All of my cav charge through the gate before they have a chance to claim it back. That'll be absolutely marvellous. Gate is open and it's all ours now. That is the battle essentially won. That's fine. It was actually a bit dicey thinking about it. We're just going to head into these guys and just see what nonsense occurs. So on the walls, I assume we're actually losing. Oh, we haven't actually given up. We're actually fighting. That's bizarre. I suppose you have got the general around us at this point, so maybe that helps. Yeah, they're broken. So, yeah, end of their infantry. We're going to charge in our general and all of the chariots are through there. General, can you just mind holding back for a moment? You're the last guy I want to be... Well, not the last guy. I really don't want you right at the front anyway. So we'll just get some of us run in. You chaps just shoot them with your bows. That'll be magnificent. For the light guys, you might as well all shoot. We'll get all the heavy chaps to come charge in. That'll be marvellous. Let's go! Yes, German's been side down. German's been an interesting prospect during this campaign. And of course, I have been doing various different guides. I've come back to doing my my campaign guides, particularly on Carthage recently. And by the time this is released, no more would have come out. I've got one coming out next week though. There's another guide coming out, and I am looking to do Britons pretty soon since I've been doing this campaign. Gives you a bit of an insight in how to play as them, particularly for the battlefield strategy, of course. So some of the Germans don't have been an interesting one because they're pretty tricky at the start. Be very careful about how he took them on. But essentially, when it comes down to once you get the heavy chariots, you pretty much kill everyone with the chariots, whether you auto-resolve or taking on the full battles. Yeah, I think by and large the British Army is pretty darn good. I mean, you see it when we took up the Marian reforms. The Britons win. That's quite common actually. I've tried it a few times now, and Britons or Egyptians winning is very common, particularly because they have chariots. Seleucids obviously have them as well, but they never really get to them. Pontus very rarely get onto their side chariots either, but I suppose they could in theory do well with them. They don't seem to use them quite as much as the Britons do. But yeah, we are going to have a Briton strategy guide coming up. It's not going to be the next one, it'll be the one after that. But yeah, Chariots Ahoy is probably going to be essentially the title of that, because it seems to be pretty much how you win most of these battles. But the troops are pretty good, all things considered. The Druids are nice support units. Head Hurleys are great. They got the dogs for extra morale. The Chosen Swordsmen are just brilliant troops. Strong against the Spearmen, obviously, but if you spread them out like we did last time, all is absolutely grand. Probably what you should be doing against the phalanxes as well nearer the start of the game. Probably a little bit slow on working out that little trick there. If my mercenaries to go finish off the last few, that'd be grand. I'd like to do this properly. The Germans there pretty much killed without any real fanfare. Clovis of Nerea there, and Malarex of Argentorate. They actually did really well. They got all the way over to Hyperborea. I mean, they took quite a lot of Germany. We've just kind of completely ruined their campaign. It's not uncommon though. Quite often you see Germany do pretty well, although I do tend to find Britons generally will chop them up, given enough time in the game to pass. But oh, that guy just got lobbed off. There we are. Good old Steve of Germany, the last one to go, thrown off the walls of their final settlement. No Amazon chariot, sadly. I would love to have had a chariot fight off here, but all things good. Themyscira captured. Honestly, I think we have to exterminate, and resistance is futile. There we are. We just saved the Amazonian women, and Germany are destroyed. Well, they were an interesting foe. Gaul were pretty simple to take care of, but they were a bit tricky. A famous warrior for you, sir. That's good. You're a young chap with bloody. If you don't get into any more battles, that remains good. Don't really want it to get to sanguine, because then it becomes an issue. Let's just merge those. We honestly don't need this army for an awful lot. Don't want the dogs either. And we'll retrain the 120 actually, because the 21 we can't retrain. This isn't medieval 2, of course, Thomas. So we'll get some warband. That'll be marvellous. And we'll send these guys to come and hang around by the border. They can just be a general patrol force to deal with rebels such as this chap over here. So we are then the end of the Germans and the end of my borders. I'm not really looking to do any more with my territory up here. Just to show you, by the way, mines are 300 at the basic. They're going to go up to 525. They are magnificent. Magnificent indeed. So we'll get the mines. In fact, we'll get the roads first. Then we can obviously flee back to the rest of our lands. But for now, we'll leave it as it is. I've never known rebels to spawn in this particular corner of the world, but we'll grab that. And yeah, if you remember my rebel campaign, we never got any Amazon chariot women, obviously because we never lost this territory. But they do pop up here. If this rebels, or if I get rebel troops over here, you can get Amazon chariots turning up still. So you might see some yet. If I do get any light rebellion in that particular region, I'll make sure to show you. Ha! Oh, the fools. Oh, the absolute fools. They have got themselves separated. Yeah, I didn't think you'd want to do it. But we're going to do this anyway. Good old Nectanebo. Not anywhere near as strong a force, but more chariots. I need to be careful about them. They can be an issue for me, but I should be able to overwhelm them. Nubian spearmen obviously do get a phalanx, but as long as we don't touch them in the front, we will annihilate them. They'll break very easily. They've got poor morale, as it says there, so nothing too shabby concerned there. I do want you to be controlled by the AI, so thank you very much. Do let that happen. Let's go and deal with another army. An incredibly wide line from them. Intriguing indeed. So our reinforcements are over there. Tell you what, if I just get all of my chariots together, I wouldn't mind going straight over to smash up some of them. Actually, they have more over this side. Now you guys get on top of them. That works for me. Right, split up our chariots a little bit. Light chariots over on this side. We're more likely to lose on this particular side, but the Arab cavalry should be pretty simple to rout. So I'm going to hope that they break easily. They do indeed into these guys over here. They're absolutely fine. Over on this side, we are tearing them to shreds. Bedouin warriors will not stand up to any of that nonsense. This is probably going to end badly for us on this side. It's a close run thing because those chariots aren't going to... Yeah, my light chariots do not like taking them on. It's fine. We've mostly taken out that flank, and these guys are their archers. They are too slow though. They're going to get caught up. So we'll leave two of you over here to go and deal with those bowmen. They're just running forward at us today. This is interesting. Desert Axemen. Desert Axemen. They don't have the Pharaoh's bowmen though, do they? Those are the guys I really don't like. So I'm pretty happy with this, all things considered. What have they got on this flank just to cause us problems? Just a few chariot archers. Okay, that's fine. I don't really worry about those. There's too few of them for me to actually be concerned about. What I'm going to do is just get you... Yeah, they're tearing them up. Perfect. Head straight back in that direction. Do not get caught up with that phalanx until one of you touches it and you're all going to be stupid. Ugh. Well, for a moment they lifted their things up and I thought I might as well charge since they were getting themselves into problems. But get yourselves over there. Get yourselves out of there. General's actually coming into us, which is ludicrously stupid as far as I'm concerned. But it works for me. Just pull out away from the spearmen and swing back, swing low, sweet chariot. We should take them out. Marvellous stuff. Right, their general probably won't last unless our morale drops for some reason. We're still eager and impetuous, apparently. Does have extra units around him, which might just, yeah, swing the balance. Unfortunately, the morale was the issue. We were actually completely shredding him, so shouldn't have been a problem, but there we are. Right, we've lost our chariots. They'll come back in time, but they have pretty much won us the early stages here. Desert Axemen, they're largely a bowman. I think there's just that one unit at the back here that remains. In which case, you guys, since you've regrouped, go and grab them, please. I never picked up my Bedouin archers. I never actually moved them in formation, so that's interesting. Are you completely... Yeah, you're fleeing in panic. You're not, though. That's good. So you get yourselves back over here. I would like to start moving this line forward, actually. My reinforcements are coming, though. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if they were to get a little bit closer to the action. So just Axemen on the flanks, spearmen in the middle. We should be in a pretty good position. There's a charge of chariots in behind. Okay. This is a bit dramatic for what is currently a bit of a, you know, shape up against each other kind of moment. But I don't mind having a quick run into a more forward position. Chariots are in big trouble, but at least they're keeping them busy, to be honest. That's the main thing. You archers, just shoot those Pharaoh's Guard. That is not a concern of me. Right, all infantry, get yourself onto Warcry. You chant, be absolutely grand. I am pretty confident at this point that I'm going to have them torn apart. So we'll get the dogs into those Axemen. Yeah, ideally the unit right next to their Pharaoh's Guard, actually. These guys might have been released just a bit too early by my other lads, but that's absolutely fine. I'm not concerned about that anymore. Let's just start running forwards. We're just going to use a couple units to hold them in position, and the rest are going to get around the rear. get the druids in to chant and try and keep things nice and happy. General, get yourself in behind as well. We could have problems here, but I'm hoping we can kind of get around them nicely. Right, you guys, get around. Get around. War dogs, pull out of there. They're breaking way too fast, but we've won on this flank. This flank is all ours. Good. Cataphracts, get on those chariot archers, or at least it'll pull you out for the time being. You get all the way around there. You get into the side of those Nubian spearmen. Oh yes, they are just Nubians as well. Why did he break? Why did you break, swordsman? That's ridiculous. Right, head straight into the back of these guys, please. Yep, right into them. That's the general. He's been poked in a very undramatic fashion. That is the break. Their general has fallen, and with that, they are going to collapse. Even though, yeah, I won one flank, they won the other, but they lost their general in their flank, which is the most important thing. Druids pull out of there. Chariots get on top of those axemen, and I reckon we should be able to wrap up their line at this point with our other chaps. Right, everyone get into them. They are not Pharaoh's bowmen. They're only Nubians. We've got this. As long as we don't do a stupid loss of the general here, because he's in a weird position. He's a bit all over the place. That's the break. Okay, just these Pharaoh's guards in the middle. They're broken too. Good, good, good. That was a bit dicey. Bit dicey. Let's just make sure we continue wrapping them up, because we don't want them to, yeah, reform. We don't have an awful lot of chariots to mop them up. So, yeah, this is good. I don't know what's not broken apart from this guy. There we go. It was just that one guy. Good. A bit of a bloody affair for us that time. It's just 22% loss, but we did a lot of breaks. Maybe we got away with it a little bit because of the lack of breaks. Those warhounds got themselves killed somehow. I don't know how, but there they are. They got themselves murdered for no good reason. These chaps can go and mop them up, and in general, we need to try and clear up as many as possible. So these chariots are racing forward. Our reinforcements really aren't helping, but in many ways they are just there to recoup the main force and keep them alive. I wouldn't mind, though, if you sent in your chariots. That would have been quite nice. They really take their time, don't they? Bit irritating, that, but oh well. Right, let's just make sure we get all of them, especially the Pharaoh's Guard. But with battle won, we should continue to clear our way towards Jerusalem. Clear victory for us here then. 1,160 kills to about 400, so not nothing, but I would say largely we did pretty well. A couple of those chosen swordsmen just threw themselves into tons and tons of spears, which obviously isn't ideal, but we kept them busy for a few seconds. That's grand. We won one flank, and that was really the main thing there. Wrapped them up. General got themselves murdered. Good news indeed. Retinue has expanded. He's getting to a famous warrior, which is nice. That gives him some extra experience. Or he gained some extra experience anyway. He doesn't look like he has any, actually. That's just a bit of an orange ear. Yes, that's just his ear, Thomas. Plus one morale is grand, though, because we could do with that after this particular affair. It very much showed up some of the shortcomings in the force. So, we have ourselves a bit of retraining to do in all of this nonsense. But I think we'll be absolutely fine. We just need to have a look at how we can merge them. I'll get on with that in the background. As for Antioch, they are coming towards us with an army. If they want to besiege us, that's fine. We'll give them a good poke. And elsewhere, always fairly chill. We do, of course, have ourselves some of our lovely, lovely armies coming along the sea at this point. So we'll just go and get them all together. Send an extra boat just to keep everyone happy and safe. All looks pretty good. Conan has settled down at long last. It's good to see. And yeah, Kai the Morbid is making his way in. Where does he want to land? I wouldn't mind getting Salamis. That's probably quite good in terms of their general money. So let's try and smash up their economy a bit. We've got Egypt itself. We've got Antioch. It would be nice to go and grab Salamis. Just a light tap on the way in, actually. Be a nice, easy drop-off, I think. So yeah, we'll head our way in there, and I'll just reorganise this army. We're going to head straight into Salamis here then. Just a few infantry hanging around. We're going to head straight into Salamis then. We've just got a few troops in here. I don't want to have to retrain too many, so we'll just auto-resolve that. Nice and simple. Exterminate the population. Lovely stuff. We'll just get those merged. We'll have one experienced lad left behind. That's no problem whatsoever. So get you to move straight on over here, sir. Join the army. Get on this boat. Not particularly sensible boat of choice. Actually, was it? No. No, it was not. So, yeah, maybe we'll just see if we can get this army to move over to this fleet over here. Can you do that? That'd probably be for the best, wouldn't it? Lovely. Okay, actually, you can get over here. That was the boat that was actually full up of movement points, not us. So we're going to dump them at Sidon next turn. That'd be absolutely marvellous. And over here in Salamis, we can probably just get some simple retraining on. So, just a few basic warband to keep it happy. You might notice here I've actually spent most of my money. I'm quite impressed that I managed to spend it all. I think there's a lot of these foundries across the Empire. That was essentially what was going on there. Just a couple of things off, make sure we get the repairing done. Actually, that's slightly more important. Put it down to low tax rate. Nothing to worry about moving forward there. Get a couple of these boats into the port because they do need a bit of retraining. So that will be absolutely grand. Marvellous, and we'll get those chaps retrained whilst we're over here. That's good. We've also got another army, which is the good old Conan the Conqueror army. He is heading this direction too. Where do I want him to go? You know what? Straight for Tarsus will probably be absolutely fine. I don't mind going to grab that. You may notice on the map here that Egypt have taken several bits of Pontus. Now, this is under siege right now. But yeah, there's the Greek army. So, yeah, it's actually Egypt putting them under siege. They're still continuing that war. They must have got there just before the Greek forces, which is interesting. You know what? If who knows? Maybe we'll just, if they take out Pontus in a way that's kind of good, it might give us a chance just to go and grab some of this nonsense for ourselves. Maybe we'll make Halicarnassus flip to us. That might be a thing that we want to do moving forwards. I have also cleared out the guys outside Antioch. No real problems around here. I'm quite happy for them just to stay and hang around on this border for the time being, actually, just until these two armies turn up, make things a little bit easier for us. Of course, we've got these two chaps moving this direction. There is an army over here, looks quite significant. Oranges as well, I need to be aware about that. AI doesn't use them too often, unless, of course, they do a proper Moors thing in Medieval 2 and just put a whole army of ballistas, which they sometimes like to, and well, the Moors love to do. But I very rarely see the AI use them that much on Rome Total War anyway. It's all pretty good over here. Yeah, as for Egypt, they have made a few more gains in this area now. You might notice that the kind of rubbish rebel area from the start of the game is now also Egyptian. And we've got Medea over here, still Pontic. So the map's slightly different to what it looks like on the map here. They have grabbed another region, and it looks like Sardis might fall. Not sure they have enough for it, but judging by this, it's been quite badly battered before. Although bronze shields, very nice. I think Pontus might just hold out there, then probably not be too much of a problem for them. We're just going to get a few troops over here just to send over to Cyrene. It's a little bit basic over here. I'm sure it'll be fine. Nothing too much is going on. I want to make sure that's well defended. Our reinforcements over here are getting picked off, which is not ideal because I really very much want to control this army here. You know what we'll do is we'll throw them in and we'll take control of good old Horse as he enters the battlefield. Not ideal at all. That's why I tried to keep him behind. Slightly misjudged that one. Bit of a shame there. Captain Taos. Now, what do you have? Heavy onagers, and onagers is the army. Just looked at. Plenty of Ferris bowmen, but not too many Ferris guards. There's a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not massive. We should be okay. It's a bit of an awkward battle, this. What I need to do is get my forces over here, at least some of them, over to where the rest of the line's going to come in. So we're going to get them moving over there pretty swiftly. So you guys get running. As for the chariots, I think we just need to find someone to pick off. So we do want to get these guys killed. They're quite low in terms of numbers. But yeah, what we need to do is try and clear up some space for the main army to come in. So we're going to get these guys slaughtered. Hopefully take up these Nile cavalry first, which would be a lovely way to get started. Whilst they rout, then we need to get everyone else. So, just my infantry, all of you onto loose, first and foremost. That will be grand. Now, second of all, what do we want to do? We need to get you into position. There's a hill here, but it might be awkward to get to it. So, I reckon, yeah, let's just move forward from where we are at this point over to this kind of an area. Get the hoplite straight in here. And we'll just get these slingers up front with skirmish on. That'll be marvellous. Okay, let's get everyone moving forward nice and quickly. So, as for these guys, these 5 just go and charge in. You guys pull out. Do not do nonsensical things like that. See, they're broken just by getting near to it. Pull out of there, lads. Like that. You want to pull them out away from the body of the army. Thank you very much. Now, we can take out those desert cavalry as well. I'd be quite happy. We can bide a bit of time so that the main force arrive. That's really what we're looking for. General is back here as well, which is perfect. Get the druids, preferably over here, actually. That wouldn't be a bad position. Swordsman, equally go on to loose. Get yourself in that kind of an area. Cataphracts over on the hill. Those are archers, though, actually. Not a good place for you to be. Got a few problems. Sick of those onagers could cause all sorts of problems if we're just going to stand around like we currently are. We need those chariots to enter the battlefield, but for that I need my main chariots to get themselves killed. Who are you? You're a dead chariot. Oh yes, you've been sent to your doom. At least keep them busy for a minute. The Pharaoh's bowmen over there are going to be least distracted, which I suppose is the main thing. Actually, we can pile into them now. Come on, lads. Get some good damage done on these guys. They're going to get themselves isolated. Hopefully we can do something to go and help us out. So hit them, preferably not all through the front. You do have flanks you can hit, by the way, lads. Try and pile on top of them. Okay, pull out, pull out, pull out. Ah, they got themselves killed. But not killed by enough is part of the problem here. They need to completely get killed. Otherwise we can't do an awful lot. Okay, what we might want to do here is start figuring out how we're gonna start moving forward. I reckon we just need to get these swords moving forward. Not quite that far, but about that far wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, let's do that. Get those slingers in front. Good, and you two guys, you continue moving over here like that. I don't know why it's put the slingers on one side, but oh well, we'll have to go and get them to join us up. So, with our reinforcements one day coming to join us, it'd be very nice if we can get ourselves forward. Right, they're about to break, aren't they? They're about to completely break as they take on these chariots. They're not going to be happy at all. General, you might have to get in there to try and help this out because this is not going to end well. Cataphracts, get in there. Just sheer numbers, try and do something. This is not good, is it? Wanting to get forward, but the getting forward is really potentially cost us here. Alright, we've at least cleared off those guys. There's some swordsmen, there's some Pharaoh's guards, chosen swordsmen. Get up this hill and around. They've got archers over there. Don't like it. Warhounds, you're down to 24. Do you have any dogs at all? You do have a few dogs. Okay, they don't like any of that nonsense, do they? No. Okay. Warhounds. Obviously, the small unit's the one that enters first of all. Of course it is. General, pull yourself back. You need to get yourself over hither. Away from all of their lads. Cataphracts, likewise. No, likewise. Get around. Get around the guard. Up there. Of course he does. He's supposed to die. That's the whole point. So, these 3 chariots are supposed to get themselves killed. Please just charge those Pharaoh's guard. If nothing else, you're keeping them busy. Desert Axemen over there are not a problem. Slingers are getting some shots in. Now, you two guys, bit of a war cry, could do some good work. Go and get yourselves around here, please. That'll be lovely. And you, sir, go and take on them. Good. Okay, we've got a main problem here, which is our general's fleeing because he didn't listen to my instructions. Don't get yourself killed. Please come back before the end of the battle. We need you. Cataphracts and the general, both of them are being stupid, throw themselves into phalanxes. Exactly what we didn't want to happen. Okay, all of this. Get yourselves forward. We are going to lose here, but oh well. It was going to happen at some point. You try and get in and around them a little bit. We're just broken here. The problem is you just can't get all this army together. It's just the classic issue really here of the reinforcement armies where the general would... we could just fight this properly. If I could just leave the first army to be controlled by by the AI, I'd be much happier, and then I can just control the reinforcements. I'd be perfectly happy with all of that nonsense. Right, well, we've lost this, haven't we? Great. Well, tell you what, let's just try and cover our retreat at this point. Apparently we still haven't got any more reinforcements. Where are they all? They're all over here, and they're just not entering the battlefield. Ugh! The game is not doing me any favours at this point, right? Just all withdraw, all withdraw. We've clearly lost this badly at this point, so just withdraw if you're not already. Thank you very much. Having taken this sweet, sweet time, we've now got some chariots entering the battlefield. It's way too late as far as I'm concerned. See what we can do with them. Yeah, see that they've broken anyway because everyone else has already fled the battlefield. So not really helping us out here at all, is it? Get yourself over here. Try and clear out those guys. You. There we go! Warlord is dead. That's helpful if nothing else. Get on top of these guys. Who knows what's going on at this point. Egyptian chariots just flee. And we've got some more chariots up here. So as long as they don't really hit us, we should be able to clear out these onagers. That's them dealt with. It's the Pharaoh's bowmen. At least we can try and do some damage with what we've got left here at this point. I'm going to double speed, not triple, because triple's a bit dangerous. Head over here, try and clear these guys out, do as much damage as we can. We can at least make this pretty darn Pyrrhic for them, if nothing else. Come on, get into them. Supposed to do a proper charge, not amble there like utter fools. Come on, charge him. And because they're Pharaoh's guards, they clear this out still. Hey, well, but there we go. Here's the defeats. You guys need to withdraw like I asked you to originally. Where are the dogs? Oh, see, they're going to try and withdraw in a stupid direction if I ask them to. You see, they want to withdraw over there. Just get into the Pharaoh's bowmen. See if you can eat them up a little bit. And then you're fleeing. Great, now you're going to get yourselves killed. They have snatched victory, but that means the dogs hopefully get to survive. Post defeat. Okay, we didn't do very well there. British heavy chariots, -1. Yeah, well... Again, I just wish I could have controlled the second army there, but oh well. We'll fall back. It's not really a problem. Random ships being born out of nowhere, publicly loyal, untouched by fear. Okay, well that's fine. Let's just reconvene what we've got here. We've managed to distract them for quite a while, which is essentially what we were trying to do. In terms of what troops we've got, not enough. Not enough actual infantry is there. No. So we'll merge those together. Take the general with him over there. That's fine. We've got ourselves 3 units of full infantry. Those are the reinforcement chariots who never actually got to the site of that battle. As for the rest of you, let's just try and get you all together. And let's just merge what we've got and join that up. Fine. We've still got something. That wasn't very impressive, was it? No, it was not. Oh well, it's fine. They can't actually reach us anymore, so that isn't too much of a problem. Faction announcements. Some diplomat over Marcomanno has died. Didn't even know he existed, so I wouldn't really worry about him. Good news, I suppose. Right, things are pretty close. Right, I had to. Oh, they've kicked them out again, and they're just spawning guys out of their arse. Oh, this is ridiculous. Right, we're just going to, next time, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to head into Thessalonica. We're going to clear them out the good old-fashioned way. Albeit, I am, before I do that, I'm just going to lift the siege, just send these guys back in, because apparently they got kicked out. So we're going to put this under siege. Once again, the gates is open, but we want the towers back. Apparently we burnt them to the ground, even though clearly I was just trying to make them wait for a turn. So somewhere we lost some boats. I don't even know where that even happened. God knows. Word the work all of that out, ladies and gentlemen. Right, we'll probably leave it here for now. I reckon 1 or 2, probably 2 more episodes, I would say, to finish us off here. We do have ourselves an assassin in case we need to train him. Yep, lovely. Good start for him. Just go and see what's going on. In general, though, the forces down here, they've had a bit of a hard time, but they've done what they need to, which is essentially they've slowed them down. They've battered up a few armies here. They've done a good job of just distracting force after force, and that has left their underbelly very weak indeed. That means that now, ladies and gents, we have Kai the Morbid, who's just landed, and he has himself plenty of time to smash down Sidon, which is already looking fairly weak. We've got ourselves more armies yet. We've got Conan, who's headed over to Tarsus here, and he is going to go and see what he can do with that army for feasted infantry. That could be good fun indeed. So we'll go and square up to them. They shouldn't be too complicated to deal with. And the Antioch force, of course, can just go and start heading forward. I think a few more infantrymen just to kind of get us going would be most grand indeed. Right, things are looking pretty good over here in Egypt. Well, yeah, by and large, they're looking pretty good anyway. A few problems as ever. They are the most tricky army to deal with our forces, but we're doing pretty well. We've got reinforcements coming in from the west now. I think I've got one more army to go and deliver over in that direction. Obviously, we'll finish off Thessalonica next time. Today we have, of course, ended up finishing off the Germans. I'm just going to give a little bit of money to these guys just to help them in their war efforts, and also, you know, just kind of like, yeah, be friendly. Give them a bit of money. Normally that means they build up an army and go and attack you, but I'm hoping that isn't the case on this particular occasion. So we won't worry about any of that old nonsense, will we? No, we won't. Cool. So I'm going to actually scrap those because we've got tons and tons of those lads elsewhere. Got a couple of dogs. I like dogs when defending a town. It's marvellous. We did spot the Egyptian ships. We sunk them both now, so we'll just go and plug that gap and all is grand. Right, next time we're going to obviously finish off the Romans properly. Got a bit frustrated with the spies being kicked out, and they just spawned new generals out of nowhere. God knows how or why. They've only got one settlement, so it really shouldn't be happening. Sidon, Tarsus, ready to fall. We're going to start knocking over the Egyptians nice and quickly with any luck, but they're a bit awkward, aren't they? Are just a little bit awkward. And hopefully, everywhere else, things will stay peaceful. We can continue trading nice and happily. But for now, I will leave you. I'm Thomas, this is Tenaz the Human, and this has been our King Arthur campaign. Thank you, and goodbye. They are just throwing themselves to their deaths. Woohoo! Chunky, chunky, chunky death. Oh, that wasn't a very good charge. Oh, we're flying! There is no one near beside him. Yeah, axe in the head! Axe in the head. Yeah, beautiful.